Previously on my Isle of Man Halloween series, I investigated the Manx Aviation Museum and its haunting of a soldier that had museum staff correct a huge mistake.
Can I just confirm that William is here?
That sounds like it's also yes.
And then I travelled north to Ramsey to investigate the notorious Milntown Estate, attempting to make contact with centuries-old ghosts still believed to be here.
I'm going to make a noise. If you can copy it, I'll be able to hear, because I've been hearing knocks in this place all day. So if you can copy this noise, anybody that's around, that's active in this area. No, that wasn't me. I didn't do the knock.
Now, I've decided to do what a 400-year-old Will warned not to do, and to go into Skyhill at night, one of the darkest places I've been, and the scene of one of the worst massacres in the British Isles.
300. I'm not talking 10. I'm talking 300 Vikings hid in these very trees. This very hill.
Skyhill, looking over Milntown, has a dark past. I talked about it in my previous video, how this was the site of a Viking battle in 1079 AD, when Godfred Crovan secretly hid 300 of his men at night inside the trees on this hill, a known refuge spot from invaders, before his large army attacked the village of Ramsey at sunrise. The women and children ran for their safety into the woods, only to be butchered before the warriors emerged from the trees, assisting with the battle on the field below for an easy victory, securing the island. In the last part, I investigated Milntown House, known as the Isle of Man's most haunted house, which is built on the site, legend says, is where the 666 dead bodies were buried from the Battle of Skyhill. But on display in Milntown House is a document found in an old roof space, a will made by one of the former residents, Ewan Christian, who was leaving his entire estate to his son. As well as leaving the land and fortune behind, it also contained a stark warning. I have been much troubled by the spirits of Skyhill battle that walk our grounds, the poor souls of Manxmen slaughtered by Vikings crying out for mercy. I hear them in my dreams still, and I warn you now, if you value your sanity, never venture into our woods in the days before All Hallows Eve. In the final part of my Isle of Man trip, I will go up Skyhill at night. It will be a new place for me, as I haven't even had the chance to see it in the daytime. Up there, I will attempt to document any paranormal activity, as well as find the stone which marks the spot where the Vikings slaughtered hundreds of innocent Manxmen. Before I go up, I just want to say how amazing my trip to the Isle of Man has been. I spent a full week here and explored the island from top to bottom, going up a mountain that has England, Scotland and Ireland visible at the peak. I saw the largest water wheel in the world and explored the legendary Isle of Man TT tourist trophy course. But the island is best known for its folklore, a belief in fairies, and also its most famous ghost, a talking mongoose called Jeff, that became known locally as the Dalby Spook. Sadly, the farmhouse is no longer there, but in the 1930s this phenomena attracted paranormal experts from across the world, and even recently was turned into a film starring Simon Pegg. The island has a darker side too. Aside from Viking invasions, the marks of its alien POW camps are still visible on the promenades in Ramsey and in Douglas, where in World War II, Jewish, German and Italian prisoners were detained, and in some cases even mixed together. Yeah, they don't teach you that at school, but that is for another video. Back to Skyhill. Continuing my night following the investigation of Milntown, I was ready to head up the hill. Milntown is notorious for a legend about a black dog, and I catch a glimpse of something black moving through the estate. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Dead Air channel for lots more content and ghost hunts like this. And if you're on Spotify, why not look for our podcast and give it a listen? Welcome back. Part 2. If you're just joining or you're just watching this and you haven't watched part 1 of the Milntown Halloween special, you need to go and have a look at it. I am currently walking on part of the Isle of Man TT course, the bit that goes through Milntown, just before you go into Ramsey. Have that look. The barriers at someone's house. Gosh, barriers. Racing in a few weeks' time. You can see that they've got curbs. This is actually part of the Isle of Man TT course, and the hill we're going on, you can't even see it, it's just darkness. We're going up Skyhill. It's dead air, it's Halloween, and this is one of the most extreme things I've ever done in my life. I'm just walking by torchlight, and I'm expecting to see a little junction coming up somewhere on my left hand side. I can see it, you can't on the screen, it's too dark. I could switch into night vision. You still can't see it. It's a big hill, a very steep hill. It was used as a refuge point for the locals, for attacks from the Scots, from the Vikings, and it was, of course, the Vikings that attacked. Third time, and they succeeded. I'm wearing my Isle of Man t-shirt, my Manx t-shirt. It could be that it brings out some positivity, it stirs up a reaction, and I'm actually walking on the battle site. The battle took place at the foot of Skyhill, so where I'm walking now could be part of what was essentially described as the Manx Battle of Hastings. Oh, that's my sat-nav talking in my pocket. I think I'm here. I've turned my infrared right up. I'm now on Skyhill, the north side of the hill. So theoretically this would have been where the Vikings, Norse army, came up. Let's go further in. So, two different versions of the story. Just going to dip the torch for a second, just
so I don't attract attention. I'm not going here illegally, I just don't want people seeing there's lights on the hill and wondering what's going on. Someone driving the Isle of Man TT. I'm actually really nervous. Oh, it's a dead rat. Is it a rat, was it? No, it's a bit of wood. Not because of paranormal reasons, but I just generally hate woods at night because you get wildlife, you get noises, things suddenly get woken up, and it's a horrible feeling. So 300 Vikings were sent to this hill and they hid in the trees. Probably not these very trees, but they hid in here. The next morning, the full Viking invasion occurred in the port of Ramsey, while the Vikings were sat hiding in these undergrowth. A lot of people sought refuge. They ran to the hill. The villagers, the women and the children, they were terrified, only to be ambushed. And then there was a pincer attack at the foot of Skyhill. Now, in the Milntown Estate, there is a document which says that it's handing the estate down to family, but it says do not go up Skyhill because you hear them moan. I hear their cries in my sleep. Look at the earth bank here where it's been channeled down. Is this the very land where Vikings came and hid? Imagine coming at night. They would have come like this. They came in the middle of the night. Secretly came up the river. And this was a time before radar or sonar, so they weren't being tracked. They just came up. Everyone was asleep. And they came up. Probably like what it is now. Dark, but without night vision. Dog barking. I'm out of breath. It is a steep hill. This is a public footpath, by the way. You can come and walk this if you're ever in this area. On the Isle of Man, you can come and walk up Skyhill yourself. It's not private land, it's not illegal to do so. A view of Ramsey. Look at this stone. Oh, it's a tree trunk. It's a tree trunk, a fallen tree. I'm not worried about my shoes because getting rid of them after this trip, they've already started to fail and break. Oh wow, look at this. Look at this. I'll read it for you if you can't read it. Battle of Skyhill, 1079. The Chronicles of the Kings of Man and the Isles record that in 1079 a Norseman I've talked about himself, Craven mustered a great number of ships and came to Man, where he joined the battle with people of the land. Defeated twice, on the third attempt he landed his army by night at Ramsey and his 300 men in the woods on Skyhill. Next day, at the height of the battle, the hidden forces attacked the Manxmen from behind, and victory for Godred was assured. He treated the islanders mercifully and established a Norse dynasty that ruled Man until 1265, the Society for the Preservation of the Manx Countryside and Environment. Wow, I didn't know that was there actually. So the hell? There was something walking behind me. Okay, let's take a photo. I can't even see where it is. There it is. Oh, perhaps I have to turn the flash on. There we go. Let's get a bit closer. So they hid in these trees. If you thought I was making it up, there it is. What's behind it? It's just more trees. And then there's a field at the bottom where we walked past. That's where the maps say the battle took place, but realistically they didn't confine a battle to a field, did they? It probably overspilled. It was probably around here. Look at that. Let's take some pictures of these trees, because a lot of people don't know this battle existed. This is obviously well celebrated by the Manx. Let's go a little bit further up. They would have hid. Now, I'm not saying this tree is over 1,000 years old, because it probably isn't. But a tree like this could be a descendant of that tree. They hid. Probably at night, like this. Imagine this. They wouldn't have had torches. They couldn't. They wouldn't be allowed to. They would have been scrambling their way in pitch black. If they put any light on, like a torch light, a fire, they would have been spotted. They had to sneak up here in total darkness. So, what the hell? My torch has stopped. My torch has literally stopped working. Work. Brilliant. Brilliant. Come on. It's literally gone, look. My torch. I'm gonna have to rely on my phone to see where I am. Which isn't as good, but it's something. At least I can see they're 2 or 3 meters ahead of me. Let's walk a little bit further up. So yeah, they would have crawled up here, probably in absolute darkness. And I mean, we're in the, you know, it's not the middle of winter, but I don't know what time of year this took place, they don't know. But imagine they would have heard the Viking ships come in, their own ships come in, so they would have known when their men were there. And this is where it all took place. That's incredible. I love the history of this island. Is there anybody out here with me? Any Manx? Any Norse? Up into the trees. Oh, it's muddy. It's too muddy. Squelching that. The duck. What's that noise? I'm hearing noises up here. I'm not saying paranormal. I just don't want to be jumped out on by some animal. I already saw a cat at Milntown. Thought it was a black dog. Straight away on the seer, a knight in shining armour. Now, I'm not saying this app isn't going to get exact photographic images, but it will use certain words, it detects certain things through the magnetometers of the phone, and it will create an image using an AI tool. Armour, weaponry. If those were the words that came through, obviously it doesn't know it has to create a Viking, it just created an image. And it's created that. Keep going up, deeper into the wood. I wonder how old these trees are. I'm not even 1 minute suggesting these are the original trees. But Skyhill, it comes from the Norse words meaning wooded hill. So we know that this hill did have trees on it at the time that they were here. This is literally the first time I've been up. I haven't been up to scope this site out during the daytime. Hence why you haven't seen any B-roll footage from here. What does this sign say? Okay, yeah. So you can go further that way, or you can go that way. I'm being attacked by bugs. I'm going to turn the light down. Let's go this way. I wonder what the terrain was like. Obviously this road didn't exist. This road has been dug out over the years. Is anybody here with me? Ugh, that was muddy. Anybody up here? I hear some twigs breaking. Probably an animal. In part 1 of this video, I went to the Milntown house part of the Milntown Estate. They built it on the battlefield, at the bottom of the hill there. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Jesus. That's why I hate coming into woods at night, because that happens a lot. There's obviously birds sleeping in these trees, and I'm just turning up with a light and it's waking them up and disturbing them. So they built the Milntown Estate on the battlefield. They bought the land in like the 1300s and then built the first house, which was then torn down and rebuilt. What's through here? So imagine this. I'm just imagining I'm on the side of a hill. I'm a Viking. This is what they did. They hid here. They wouldn't have slept. They would have had to have stayed awake. They would have probably had to keep their voices very low so that nobody passing by could hear them. They probably whispered like this to each other. And they would have known when it was time. They probably would have heard villagers panicking. And they would have had their axe sharpened and ready. Because I don't think they would have gone right to the top. You wouldn't go that high because it means you've got to walk all the way back down again. They would have just hid in this first half. 300. I'm not talking 10. We're talking 300 Vikings hid in these very trees. This very soil probably. It's probably been washed about a bit. This very hill. Should we do an EVP? Hello? Spirits? Is there any spirit up here with me that would like to communicate? Talk into this red light. Can I hear your voice? I'm Manx. I've got a Manx t-shirt on. I support the Manx. Ending recording.
Spirits. Is there any spirit up here with me that would like to communicate? Talk into this red light. Can I hear your voice? I'm Manx. I've got a Manx t-shirt on. I support the Manx.
Didn't hear anything on there. Can I see who you are? Did you hide in these trees, or did you run for safety, thinking you could hide in these trees only to find somebody was already here? "666 of you died. Manxmen. There's a burial site somewhere, we don't know where it is. It's somewhere close by. It could even be on the Milntown Estate. Who is up here? Nothing's coming through. Let's go a little bit further up. Something's floating around up there. I think that's your answer. So any... Who's here? Any Manx people here? I heard something this way. Now when I've got this app open I can't see where I'm going because the torch goes off. Are you Norse? I'm walking very slowly because I'm only using night vision to see where I'm going. I heard a noise this way. It's Halloween and I'm on Skyhill. Let's get down. I believe they probably hid in the first third of the hill. You wouldn't go all the way to the top because it means you've got to run all the way back down through all the undergrowth, and that's more chance you would have to be spotted. I haven't got much battery life yet left, so if this goes, I'm in complete and utter darkness. If the light on my infrared camera goes, which is mounted on the top, I am screwed, big time. So I've got to get off this hill sooner rather than later. Oh, I feel the water coming in the bottom of my shoes. Need to swap hands. You can hear the running water. Obviously there's a Milntown. Now the river, if you're looking at a map of this area on the you'll see that the river will look nothing like what it used to look like. It's changed course. You can even see on Google Earth, if you look at it today, the river's bends have been sort of changed over the years for whatever reason, and that simply means that we don't know where the original boats came in, where they hid the boats, because obviously 300 men have got to come in somehow, and they've got to put those boats somewhere where they're not going to get seen. So that's another mystery. Where did the boats go? Footsteps. Something's walking around. Oh, I can see it. What is that? It's animals. Little animals. Just turn my torch off so I can see on the screen. What are those? They're badgers. I can see 1, 2, 3. I can see 2 eyes looking at me. Is that a badger? I can't see. I heard something walking around. Hello. Probably wondering why I'm up here. Have you seen any Vikings up here before? Do you ever see any battle cries or hear battle cries? I'm going to try and take a picture of you, see what you are. Can't see what you are. Well, good night. Are you watching me? If anyone in the comments knows what one of those is, I can't tell. It could be a badger. It's not bright enough for me to see on my screen. So yeah, if you know what that is, let me know. Trying to think what animals. Badgers would have white on them, wouldn't they? Unless you get some dark badgers. But then, have we debunked something? So, in the document, it talked about hearing cries and moans on Skyhill at night. What were they hearing? Were they really hearing injured soldiers, Manx or Norse? Or were they hearing animals crying, like a bird squeaking and squawking? And then from down there, it sounds like you're hearing a human. We've all done that before. I've done that before, where you hear something scream and you think it's a human, but it's some kind of bird or badger. Chillingham Castle, around the back of Chillingham Castle, they've actually got badgers. They've actually got badger sets, and they make a racket, and they've got to keep chasing them off the land. So, you know, could be animals. I'm not ruling it out. Got to do a battery change in the dark, pitch dark. Okay. Changing batteries. Welcome back. I've got a new battery in the camera. Took me about 3 minutes to do that because I couldn't find which way around it goes in, but we've done it. So I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a happy Halloween from Skyhill on the Isle of Man. You know, they believe on the Isle of Man that there's fairies that live up here in these woods and in the glens. Every glen's got stories of fairies, and I think it's a fantastic tradition to keep going. And even when the bus went past the ferry bridge, when I came a few days ago from the airport, the announcement comes over the speaker. It says, in line with Manx tradition, we're going to say hello to the fairies. And okay, maybe half the bus did it, the other half didn't. It's still quite fun, you know. Who wants to sit on a boring journey and just stare into nothing, stare at the window? Have a bit of fun, say hello to the fairies. You never know, they might be real, and they could be watching me right now. So no disrespect to any fairies, I don't want any bad luck, but I know I've really enjoyed my stay on the Isle of Man. It's only like 120 something miles from my house, but getting here, it's a bit of a mission. You've either got to fly from a different airport, or you've got to get a boat from Liverpool or Heysham or somewhere. And but it's well worth it. Get the car across, go for a drive, go to the, well, I say go to the TT. If you're massively rich, go to the TT. Accommodation costs an absolute fortune during the time that the Isle of Man TT's on. I wonder where that burial spot is, where the victims, 666 Manx victims, apparently died. 666. And they're buried. Well, obviously they're not going to take them far from here, they're just going to dig them a grave and put them in the grave. So, is Milntown built on the site? They specifically wanted that bit of land, and they got it, and they've built their estate on it. Well, I'm heading back to Milntown now. I've got an apartment and a bed that's waiting for me. So yeah, I'll take this opportunity right now to say have a happy Halloween. And there will be more content from Dead Air coming very, very soon. So like and subscribe to the Dead Air channel for this special Halloween going up Skyhill. I'm still hearing noises. Like and subscribe. Good night.